Okay, so we're recording. I'm so excited for this. I look so haggard, but that's okay. My kid was literally throwing up all morning. So thankful that I get to be home with her. But I don't even want to like jump into stories or anything. I feel like we do that too much, and I really just want to hop into like the topic for the day. So today's whole topic is just about fear. It's about thinking too much and not enough action. And then I'm just gonna like go over kind of like some of the stuff that I learned today in this podcast that I was listening to that I put in the leadership chat earlier. So if you guys watch that later, you'll kind of get bits and pieces of what I'm talking about too. But oh my gosh, it was so good. So Mads, do you want to open us up and start with whatever you were going to touch on? And I'm going to turn the TV down a little bit.
All right. Good morning, guys. Are you going to be good for this? I know. Let's hope. So basically, like what I said, we're talking about thinking, basically overthinking and not doing enough action, which I have been struggling with a lot. So this is a very on topic for me. I've been struggling a lot with overthinking a lot of the things in my, one moment, please.
Okay, so I'm just going to jump into like what I was learning in my self-development this morning, and then we'll kind of move on from there. But oh my gosh, you guys, this podcast was freaking fire. So, well, we'll end on that. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Okay, so for me, you guys, what this ultimately comes down to is, and I'm faulty of it, have been faulty of it this entire time, like my entire business. Especially the first like year, I would say, is really the biggest growth period in your business and on your mindset. And there's so much fear involved when you very first start. Fear posting, fear of messaging, fear of adding quote unquote random people, the fear of rejection, the fear of judgment, right? Like all these things come up. And at the end of the day, what I want you to ask yourself is, are these people's opinions that you quote unquote care about, are they paying your bills? Like if this random person is commenting on your post and telling you that you're in a scam or whatever, if you went to go ask them for an $1,800 payment to pay your mortgage, would they? No? Okay, perfect. So then it doesn't matter. Move on. The greatest tool that we have right now, and the thing is, you guys, we work from social media. There's a really cool button called a block button. And you can block anyone you want. I can't tell you how many hundreds of people I have on my block list because I just don't even have time for it. The people who are in my inbox telling me that this is a scam, the people who are commenting negative Nancy things on my posts, I don't even care. They're blocked. I'm not even replying. I literally could give two shits. Move on. You know what I'm saying? You cannot let other people's opinions dictate your future. And if you do, you're going to get held back in this. You're going to get held back in life. Like, you have to stop caring. So I'm going to let Mads pipe in, but my biggest tip is stop giving a fuck. And there's literally books about specifically that, like that title. So look them up if you need help with that too. But anyways, it seems like you're a little bit more situated. So I'll let you pipe in.
Sorry, guys. It's been a rough week. Anyway, yeah, so like Lex said, a lot of where it stems from is other people's opinions of you. And we're all guilty of taking other people's opinions and letting them sit in your brain and saying, oh, I don't care about that. And then when you're in by yourself in silence, whether it's at night or whether you're driving in the car or whether you're doing whatever, those thoughts come back and now they're reoccurring because you were really upset by that for some reason. And like I said, those people don't pay your bills. So stop overthinking whatever they said, whatever they did, whatever they talked about. Put that aside. And we're not going on an adventure if you don't stop. I'm going to lock you outside. And take that and use it to your advantage. I locked myself in the bathroom. Okay. Don't let other people tell you that you are not good enough, because you have to be in your brain you have to get out of your own head with this. This is I am guilty of it. I'm a very big people pleaser. And so I go and I please other people's opinions of me. And I want them to see that version, because if they see that version, then they're going to like me. But I really don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you do like me. I'm going to do what's best for me and my family. And you're not going to pay my mortgage. You're not going to pay my electric bill. You're not going to pay my Wi-Fi bill. You're not going to do any of that. So why do you care what other people are saying about you if they're not going to help you succeed? Period. If your business is relying on other people's opinions, then then you're never going to get anywhere, because those people are now controlling every single thing in your life because you're letting them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And the thing is, you guys, is that other people's opinion doesn't have to be your truth. Your inner voice isn't even right all the time, right? So it ultimately comes down to confidence. And a lot of us lack that confidence when we first start. I know I did, for sure. Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, I got a mean message or I got a weird comment or whatever. And like, of course it's going to throw you off. Like, you're human, you know? And especially when you're first starting, you're so vulnerable. Like, I know this sounds stupid, but when we all join, we're like newborn children, okay? I'm like a toddler right now, okay? As a double diamond. And when I get up to the top, maybe I'll grow into the adult that I'm supposed to be, right? And we're all at this baby stage when we first start, and we're so easily upset by everything, and we feel like, you know, so much fear. And how you build that confidence is through self-development. If you're not doing self-development, your business isn't going to grow. Your life is not going to go in the direction that you want it to go. Mindset is everything. And I told you this on my Zoom or my live earlier. This business truly is 80% mindset and 20% effort. And if you don't work on your mind, how do you expect that anything else is going to come to you? And I think of self-development as literally like my armor for the day. That's why I tell you guys to control your first 30 minutes and to not let those bad seeds of social media and the text messages and the people around you to even get in your head until you've put that suit of armor on. Because then you can take so many more bullets, so many more hits, and it's not going to affect you. So if you don't start your day off on the right foot, then you're not setting yourself up for success, because the reality is, regardless of what business you're in, there's gonna be haters. And I'm gonna take a quote from 10X, which if you haven't listened to that book yet by Grant Cardone, you definitely should. But he talks specifically about haters and about naysayers. And he says, if you don't have haters and you don't have naysayers, you're not playing big enough. Are you even playing at all? Because the thing is, you guys, is that the second you see, and I talked about this in my live earlier, it's kind of funny, it's all coming back around. If you take those things and you use them as fuel, like, prove them wrong. The thing is, you guys, if you have confidence in the fact that this isn't a scam and that the products do work, which I know firsthand because it keeps a roof over my head and food in my kid's belly and my health insurance, et cetera, like, my business pays for all my bills. I pay taxes. This isn't a scam, okay? So that's out the door. Next, I've lost 72 pounds and my face is clearer than ever. And if you know me or know my friends, they get annoyed because I'm saying how long my hair is all the time from HSN. The products work. When you have that confidence and you can give them straight facts, it doesn't matter. You know deep in your heart what is true, and you just keep going. And you show them through giving this time and consistency that you're not going anywhere. And neither is this business, and neither of the products. And I'm going to be real with you guys. There's going to be fear all the way through this business. That's never going to stop. There's always going to be fear in life. But the difference is, fear's not real. Danger is. Are you in a dangerous situation? Are you or your family going to be physically or mentally harmed? No? Then do it anyways and lean into it, because fear is actually a really good thing. It's showing you that this is the next step. It's taking you outside of your comfort zone. It's showing you a new way. And when something comes up, you're saying no to that new opportunity. You're saying no to that next rank. You're saying no and blocking all the distributors and the customers that would have come to you if you just had an open mind about it. And all of this, you guys, comes through self-development. That's why we harp on it so much, because fear, you can eat alive through that. Mads, do you want to touch on any of that?
Yeah. So, self-development is extremely important. So if you're not doing that, that's your first mistake. It is something that, like Lex said, it's your armor for the day. Because if you start your day with that, anything that happens throughout the day, you're already on the right foot. You're already ahead of it. For example, yesterday, I got kicked in the head by a kid and head-butted by another kid. This day was just the kids were on one. But those things usually would have put me in literally the worst mood possible, and I would have literally not gone, like, literally crazy. Like, can't handle it. Like, I need to leave work. But instead, because I did my self-development in the morning and at lunch like I normally do, it was okay. Like, I was fine. Like, I was good. Like it hurt. Like, don't get me wrong. But, like, because I did those things to set myself up for success, which is what self-development is, then you're setting yourself up for all the good things that can come your way because you're already open to them. So the bad stuff just kind of washes and you're like, whatever. And then the good stuff comes and you're like, oh, see, this is why I did this today, or this is why I did this today. And, like, you open your heart up to all of the good when you start your day with the good. And fear, I hate fear. Everyone hates fear. It's everywhere. You're never going to escape it. It's something that literally never goes away. You're going to be afraid of every single situation known to man. But the difference is that fear is good for you. It helps you grow. It helps you become the person that you were supposed to be. If you're not leaning into the fear of being scared of what's next, then you're not ever going to grow. You're not ever going to be the best self. You're never going to become the best version of you because you're not leaning into the fact that the universe is telling you that this is where you need to go, but you're too afraid to take that leap because of what someone else will say or what someone else will do or the opinions you'll get from your family or whatever. Don't let that stop you from doing what you were supposed to do, period.
The thing is, you guys, is that this is new. This is something you've never done before. And you have to give yourself that. You have to give yourself that credit. Just like I said, you're a newborn baby. This is something you've never done before. You don't know how to eat, sleep, whatever, except for your parent, who's your enroller, right? You don't know anything. That's not to be disrespectful, but admit that you don't know what you're doing and then follow the right cat. And I really, really, really wanted to touch on this because something came up yesterday that made me think about it. And you guys, there's going to be people, there's going to be leaders that don't lead properly in this business. There's going to be distributors who don't do things properly, don't treat people properly, don't do their spammy posts. They're teaching you things that just aren't the way that we work this business and are not our ethics. And you have a choice of who you get to follow. And I hope that every day I embody a leader that you want to follow. But you have to find that person and then run with them. Because when you latch on to a mentor or you latch onto your enroller or an upline or whatever, it's literally like you attaching to a parent. And now you're not an insufficient child because you're sucking everything in that they're telling you. You are a sponge. Like, kids are sponges, right? They're learning everything. They're seeing how we interact in a certain situation. They're seeing how we post. They're seeing how we do X, Y, and Z. So allow yourself to be open-minded enough through self-development and let that, just notice the fear that you have there of all the things, and then just pucker your butthole and send those messages anyways, sister, because I promise once you do, you will feel so empowered. And once you do it the first time, it's going to be easier to do it the second time. And I will never tell you to do something that I myself don't do every day. I will never tell you that I am not fearful every single day and not keep it 100 with you guys. but I do it anyways. So here's some things in the comments that you guys said that you had fear based around. Number one, going live. This is so huge. I think everybody's petrified of going live the first time. And I'm going to be completely honest when I say you're going to sweat your balls off. You might look like an idiot the first time. Do it anyways. People want to see you. They want to see your story. They want to know what this is doing for you. And when you show, you can even get on and be like, okay, you guys, this is my first live. Bear with me. I'm so freaking nervous. I'm sweating through my clothes, but I have to tell you what I have my hands on. And the fact that you are going so outside of your comfort zone and showing that vulnerability and showing how nervous you truly are and doing it anyways, people now think they can do it too, because they can. Anyone can do this business. Every fear that you overcome, everything you do in this business shows other people that they can do it too, shows your team, shows those people who want to come into your organization. Do you want to touch on going live?
So I think the key word in that whole entire thing was do it anyway, guys. Do it even though you literally don't want to and you're scared to do it. Going live was a big fear of mine because there's no like delete button. You can't like go back and like rewind and like take it out. Like it's very live. And I, a lot of the times, get my words very mixed up and like backwards and like whatever. So like I was very scared of that. And I was very, very, very petrified that like I was going to get on there and look like a complete moron and not have any idea what I was doing and like freak out. But like, if you do it anyway, all of a sudden it becomes like, oh, I know how to do that. Like even with the coffee storage, you guys, the first time I did it, I was literally shaking pouring the coffee because I was like, girls, right? And like there's literally coffee everywhere because I was shaking so bad. But I did it and then I kept doing it and I kept doing it and I kept doing it and I kept doing it. And now I literally can get on there and talk about it in literally a split second. Do whatever, and I have 4 people swiping up on my story talking about how much they either love the coffee or they want to try it or they want to say, like, I have those things now because I'm confident in what I'm saying. You're not going to be perfect the first time you do something, and that is okay. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to try. If you're not trying to be better or you're not trying to go outside your comfort zone or you're not trying to lean into that fear, you're never gonna go anywhere. You have to at least try it. Did you want to add something?
I was just going to say, it's so funny that you said you don't have to be perfect because I can't remember where I put it, but I listened to a podcast the other day and verbatim he said, you don't have to be perfect at anything. You need to be efficient. And that's ultimately what this Zoom comes down to at the end of the day, you guys. Efficiency. Letting go of the emotion. You cannot work your business based off of emotion. If I worked my business on how I felt, I would probably not even be Ruby. Like, to be frank, I cannot tell you how many times I'm crying because this business, like, I don't think anyone prepares you. And I hope you guys know, I always keep it 100 with you guys. I will always tell you the truth, even if it hurts a little bit, because I have overcome it. So can you. Okay. So what I'm about to tell you is, this business takes blood, sweat, and tears. And if anyone tells you differently, they're lying to your face. This business is not easy. There is so much emotion. There's lots of leadership that you have to learn. This is all new. It's overwhelming. There's a lot. But that's okay. Break it down to efficiency. Why do you think I'm having you guys post your schedule one day at a time? And showing you how to work in your business and make it a priority. Why do you think I'm going live, giving you tips every day? Like, all the tools I give you is not for fun, and it's things I already know. I don't need it. I could go off and do my own thing. Every single tool we provide you with, every single live, every single Zoom, this is for you. So soak in the information that we're telling you and really run with it, because you guys, just because this is hard work, who cares? When you're making $30,000 a month, I don't care if it took me 40 years to get to the top of this company and I sat at Ruby for 35 of them. I do not care. Because when I'm making $35,000 a month on 3 separate accounts, mine, my 2.0, and my hubby's, and hopefully his 2.0, 4 accounts, I don't care. I don't care how long it took me. I don't care about the fear or the haters or the naysayers. Have your eye on the bigger picture. If it's freaking you out so much, you're focusing too much on the fear and not enough on what you want. Where are you going? Why are you doing this? I have to remind myself every single day, why am I working my ass off? Why am I working through, even though I'm crying right now, even through the blood, sweat, and tears? Because I know it's worth it. And trust me when I tell you that when you see that first $1,000 paycheck, when you see that first $5,000 paycheck, when you see the $10,000 paychecks that I've seen, you won't care. Drop in the comments right now, what would that $15,000 diamond bonus do for you? Why are you doing this? Why are you here? And what fears are you going to let go of to allow that to happen? Because just like we touched on earlier, if you are looking for the negative, you will find it every time, sister. If you start looking at people not putting up posts for you, people not enrolling, I'm not doing anything, I can't do this, I can't do this, why is this not happening for me? Well, because you're sucked in a negative pit hole, and what do you think is going to happen? You're not growing your mind, and I'm not saying you guys aren't, but I'm saying if you feel that way, you're not doing the things that you need to do. It's that simple. If you're not enrolling, you're not growing your mind and you're not doing the work. It's as easy as that. You will complete your steps to success every single month if your mindset's on point and you do the work. And there's going to be a lot of fear. There's gonna be a lot of tears. There's gonna be a lot of hardship. There's gonna be a lot of things you have to overcome and you have to learn. And you're gonna fall on your face a million times, just like I have. And I will be there to pick you up every single time. Every single time. I will always show up for you because I know how it feels to fall on your face. And I know why I want you to keep going. Because when you fall on your face, the second you get back up is when that promotion comes. The second you fall on your face and you pop back up, you are a brand new person. So, Mads, do you have anything to add before I hop on to the next, little point?
Yeah, so you guys, we're all failing forward. None of us, me, Lex, Nat, your leaders, we don't, yeah, we know what we're doing and it's not easy and we work our butts off, but we're all failing forward. We're all trying to get to that next rank and we haven't gotten there yet. So we're still failing forward. We know exactly what it feels like. But the difference is that we are not giving up. We keep showing up to the race regardless of how many knee injuries I have or how many toes I've broken, how many ankles I've busted. I keep showing up to the race because that's where I need to be. Because that's where I want to go. I'm so focused at the end of the race and where I'm going that I don't care how many limbs I break to get there. My butt's showing up every single time, no matter how many times I fail. Because that's what we need to do. Yes.
She took quitting off the table. And I think ultimately is what that comes down to. And I've talked to so many of you, even in the last week, about this. If you have not taken quitting off the table, you might as well quit today. Because you're not giving yourself the opportunity to grow and to thrive and to flourish in this business. You have to decide right now, just like she's saying, regardless of how many broken limbs, regardless of how long it takes you to get somewhere. I don't care if you're an exec for a year. Keep going. The only people who do not get to the top of this company are the people who give up, are the people who stop working, are the people who stop working on their mindset. And Matt said it. You guys, every single day I'm working on myself. I am not perfect. I do not know everything in this business. I really don't. I'm learning so much every single day, and I love that. I thrive off of learning from others. I am in multiple different leadership chats, and I'm so thankful to be at the point where I'm at in my business that I get to share that with you guys. I get to take all this information that I've learned and preach it into you. And so does Matt's, like everybody who's sharing. And you will be on these Zooms one day too. Y'all are leaders, regardless of what rank you're at. Y'all are going to be talking with us. You are going to be a presidential diamond sitting on the white couch talking with Alyssa Wilbur. Guaranteed. But if you don't believe that and you don't even want to go there, then why are you here? You know, like the fear's always going to be there. But I know in my heart, my dreams and my goals are so much greater than the fear that I have. And that's why breaking down your why is so important. That's why having a dream board is so important. That's why journaling every single day is so important. Because not only, like when you put your self-development hat on, you're like, all right, I'm ready to go. But now what's your plan of action? Where are you going to take today? And regardless of what messages come into your inbox, regardless of what judgment you get, regardless of whatever fears you have, these are the tasks that you're completing today. And I'm going to send 100 messages before I reply to a single one. And I don't care if all 100 of them reply, no, fuck you. I'm still sending all 100. And if I don't get a single hap up from that, guess what? I'm not even going to reply to them. I'll probably block all those people. And I'm going to send 100 more. And I'm going to post. And I'm going to add to my story. And I'm going to grow to my network. Because when you recognize what opportunity you have, you guys, you stop caring. That's why I'm so passionate and so confident about that. Because I've seen the big paychecks. I've seen what that can do for my team. I've been at conference with my team in tears. Because what this is going to do for them. Every single person that I pop into their inbox, regardless of how much fear I have sending that message, they deserve this opportunity. And you know what? Here's a perfect example. Last year at conference, not this year, but last year at conference, Mark said, I want you to stand up if somebody either messaged you or asked you to join this business. Every single person in that auditorium stood up. Every single one. There was not a single person sitting down. And everybody just kind of looked at each other like, I mean, there's tens of thousands of people in this arena, you guys. Every single one of them was asked. And every single person that you pop into their DMs or they comment on your post or you're adding random people, guess what? Because they deserve this. Like we talk about it all the time. It's not about you anymore. The hardest decision you made was clicking submit. And the second that you clicked submit, it wasn't about you anymore. It's about how many people you can serve. And if you let fear get in the way of helping others, then where are your intentions? Mads, do you have anything to add? Sorry, I have a bullet point of where I'm going to go to next, but then I think about something.
No, you're totally fine. No worries at all. You guys, what? Sure, sit down.
No, you sit down. I don't want it.
Okay, then go.
No, you don't have
It's been a rough week. Anyway, we keep talking about it. You guys it basically comes down to, you guys can't give up. If you give up, or if you think about giving up, or if you have that inkling that you're like, well, what if this doesn't work? Then sis, it ain't gonna work. If you can, what is it? What's that saying? Is if you think you can, and if you think you can't, you can't. There, I said it. I was like, what was I trying to say? It's all up to you. It's up to your decision. You choose what you want to do. It's not up to anyone else. I could sit here and tell you all day that you're going to be a diamond, but if you're choosing to sit where you're at, then that's on you. You chose that. Your mind told you that that's all you deserve, but that's not all you deserve. That's why it is important to always tell yourself you're worth it. I literally have so much positive self-talk around my house. There's like Post-it notes all over it. Literally just tiny things that say like, you're worthy, or you're doing great, or whatever. Because that tells me that I'm doing good. When I'm good, I'm reading those and I'm thinking, you're right. That's right. I am worthy. I am that. And I'm speaking that to myself because that proves to me that I can do this. So can all of you. But you have to try. You have to do it. You can't just sit there and pray and say, oh, I'm going to be a diamond, and then watch 12 episodes of Grey's Anatomy and cry for 12 hours. That's not how it works. You have to put the effort in to get it done. And if you're not going to put the effort in, and if you're still thinking about quitting or that it's not going to work, then it's not going to work. And you're going to be sad and you're going to freak out and say, oh, I didn't make any money and I did all of this and whatever. Those people that say, oh, I tried that and I didn't make any money, those people didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Those people didn't know what they were doing, didn't work, so no, they didn't make any money.
This is network marketing, not net wish marketing, okay? And I think so many people join thinking that they just get to join and not do anything. This is gonna be hard. This is gonna be work. This is a career that you're choosing, you know? But I would so much rather be sitting right here pouring into you guys with my sick daughter on the couch than sitting in an hour and a half of traffic, driving 35 miles away from me to go sit at a job that I hate every day and not get home till 7 o'clock and not have any time with her. You know what I'm saying? So we get so fired up and tell you all these things because you can have everything that you want, and we believe that wholeheartedly, but you have to too. Okay, I want to touch on biggest fear is failing my team and finding a team who wants it as much as me. I wish you could see my arm. I have legitimate chills because that's never going to go away. And I fear that every day because I know what it looks like to not have a good leader. I know what it looks like to fail a team. I've seen it on sidelines. I've watched it. You guys are going to see it too. If you start paying attention, you know, to other teams and all these things going on. Like, I'm in so many different groups, you guys, throughout this organization, and some crumble and some rise. And we all have a choice every day. And we've kept saying that throughout the Zoom. We have a choice, right? And we're going to fail. I fail as a leader all the time, you guys. I screw up. I say the wrong thing. I think that I know something, and then the times change, and then somebody's still doing what I told them to do before, and I'm like, no, that doesn't work anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a constant thing, and there are going to be times where you do screw up. That's just reality. And what you have to recognize is when you have a good team and you are doing self-development and you say you're attracting hardworking people and you say that you're going to bring all these positive people in your business, they'll understand. And they're going to grow with you because you showed you falling on your face. How many times have I shown you guys my vulnerability and been like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, I've been pushing for triple for 5 months and I haven't gotten there because of this. Or, oh my gosh, I messed up and I did something here, and I'll message in the chat, like, make sure you guys go take care of this right now. Like, you've seen it a million times, even with me. So just recognize, again, just like with anything that we're talking about here, that that's reality and it's going to happen. But that's when you lean on your upline and you don't ever swim down. But when you're having issues, go to your upline. If you feel like, oh my God, I totally just screwed up, like, I don't know how to fix this, go to your upline. The other thing about, like, attracting those people and finding a team that wants it as bad as you, show up as your dream distributor every day. What does your dream distributor look like? What are their enrollments like? I promise you guys, when you complete your 6 list every day and you have a good mindset, you will attract those people. I promise you. Your team is out there. But when you let the fear of not messaging, when you let the fear of not scheduling wrap parties, when you let the fear of not going live overrule that, you won't find those people. That's what I'm saying. When you have to lean into that fear, get out of your comfort zone and show people that you are real and raw and you're doing this, they're going to come with you. So embody the people that you want to attract and preach that, and then they'll come.
Okay, so I had a really good point, and then it almost went poof. So leadership is always an evolution. You guys, we don't just reach a certain rank and become the certain leader that we need to be. That is a constant thing that you have to work towards every single day. It is not something that you are born, like, it's just not. Like, I was never born with real leadership skills. I never had to do that. So why would I have that in my back pocket? I've had to evolve that, and I've had to grow that. But you have to know where your strength is, and you have to know where the other one's not. And if you're not strong as a leader, there are 12 million books and 12 million podcasts that you can listen to help you grow that. But it also isn't just about listening to them. You guys, you have to implement what they're teaching you. When you put your leadership hat on and you're listening to all of that and you're getting so hyped and you're listening to all that information, take your hat off and take all of the things you just learned and lay them out and implement everything you just learned. If you're not doing that, then your leadership is never going to grow. You're never going to evolve into the leader that you want to be because you're not taking the things that you're learning and using them towards something. Your leadership will always grow at each level. As a Ruby, I was a different leader as I was at an Emerald. At an Emerald, I'm a different leader than I will be at a Diamond, and so on and so forth. But I won't ever reach there if I'm not growing that leadership to be that leader, period.
Yeah, 100%. I have, like, in my personal life changed so much and grown so much, but oh my gosh, you guys, I can't tell you how much leadership has changed just even in the last 6 months. And that's why I'm so confident that we're going triple diamond this month, which, by the way, there's going to be doubles and diamonds and emeralds and lots of rubies popping this month. So hopefully you're claiming one of those. But you're going to grow, and I'm not going to be the same person that I am a year from now, and neither are you. But that's because I'm implementing the things that I'm learning, and I'm choosing to grow, and you have to do the same. So I want to jump into some of the things that I learned on my podcast this morning. I think it's really important. The very first thing that he said that is a common, like, misconception or, like, thing that people think, and he said, it's people think that where you are right now isn't where you should be. Like, you have all these constant thoughts of, oh, I should be farther along. Oh, I should be enrolling more customers. Oh, I should be X, Y, and Z, fill in the blank, okay? And he said, no, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And this is leading you to something even bigger. And that just, like, shook me because it's so true. We do think all the time, we have these expectations of ourselves, and we think that we should be at a different point, but that is us not living in the moment. That's us not using the things that we've learned in self-development to keep us living right now for right now. And you can't live in the past. You can't live in the future. You have goals and you have your eyes set on them, but you need to understand that every single day is happening for you, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be. He said, he was talking about financial breakdowns, mental breakdowns, relationship breakdowns. So think about a breakdown that's happening in your life right now. Think about, like, one thing that's really stressing you out. And now I want you to think of it as a blessing. He said, breakdown equals blessing. You're exactly where you should be, and you should be grateful for that. The other thing that he said is people think that they're an exception, that people aren't, like, in this, I relate it to our business in the sense of, like, people think they're exception. Oh, people just aren't putting up posts for me, perhaps. Oh, people just don't want to come to me to join my team. Oh, people just don't buy products from me. They're not interacting on my posts. They're not, whatever. List the excuse. And realize that you're not an exception, sis. You're the majority. Stop flattering yourself by giving yourself the benefit of thinking that this is just happening to you. No, you have a poor attitude. And that's why people aren't putting posts up for you. Or you're not sending enough messages to ask people. You're not asking enough people. At the end of the day, you guys, this is a numbers game. How many people are you talking to every day? How many people are you following up with? How much effort are you putting in? And that literally equates where you're at right now. Okay, next thing. Stop being so stubborn that you're living in insanity. And that quote really stood out to me because literally the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. How can you not send any messages and expect that people are going to put up a post for you? How can you not do self-development and not pour into yourself and expect to be a good leader? How can you fill in the blank? One-to-one, right? The other thing that he said was, what are you telling yourself about this process? Are you telling yourself that this is going to be difficult? This is going to be so hard to go diamond. This is going to be so hard to earn this bonus. The universe's only job is to say, okay. So when you're saying that and you're thinking that and you're not forcing yourself to reframe your mind, the universe is now appreciating what you're saying and going with it. And the more that you say, I'm broke, The more that you say no one wants these products, the more that you say this is going to be so hard and I'm never going to get there, how am I going to get there? That's what you're going to get. So instead, this is all about reframing. And Julia and I think, did the mindset Zoom, I can't remember. And we were specifically talking about reprogramming. Self-development is literally you rewiring your brain to think a different way. And it's going to take a lot of practice and it's going to take a lot of time. But what you have to do is trust the process. This is all a process. From the day you join till the end of time is an evolution. Okay. Mads, do you have anything to add on to any of those before I go on to the next?
Oh, I had something and then I went poof. If I think about it, I'll unmute myself.
Okay. The other thing that he said is we create these huge, massive goals for ourselves, which is amazing, right? But that's where we come up with the unrealistic expectations of ourselves. So you have to have these big goals, these big dreams, but all you need to focus on, again, is living in the moment and being 2% better than you were yesterday. If you are 2% better every single day, you will be the best version of yourself by the end of your life. It is the small changes that you make, not the big ones, that are most impactful. So create a goal every day that you can stick to. If 100 messages a day seems absolutely nutty to you, start with 50. Once you get comfortable with 50 a day, bump it up to 100. Once you get comfortable with 100 a day, bump it up to 200. You know what I'm saying? But there's stepping stones. You don't need to skip 4 stairs. And then he said, we get so caught up in the formula and the how. And it's not about the how. It's about the destination. And you guys already have the tools. Like, we're looking for this in secret sauce, for lack of better words. We're looking for the perfect script, the perfect post, the perfect amount of interactions, the perfect amount of times that we should put something up on our story, the perfect fill in the blank again. And it's not about the formula. It's about going and just doing it. Do your 6 list every day and do your self-development. Again, and we're paid to enroll loyal customers and enroll distributors. When you do your 6 list and you have a positive attitude, you will do those things. You will complete your steps to success, which means you will be an ambassador diamond. I don't know when that is. I can't give you an exact date. And honestly, you shouldn't even be worried about the exact date. You should just be so focused on the fact that you're going there that it doesn't matter how. You're going to be watching the training videos. You're going to be so fired up and so excited to learn the new things that your success is inevitable. When you realize that your success is inevitable, nothing else matters. These fears kind of start to dissipate. Because even though, like, I don't know, for example, I'm so hard on myself with enrollments. If I'm not enrolling myself or enrolling something every single day, I kick myself for it. And guess what happens every single time? Because I'm still completing my 6 list and I force myself to reprogram my thought process about the fact that I'm not enrolling. And the next day I end up signing 4 freaking customers. You guys see it every time. And it's because even though I'm fearful, even though I have those thoughts of, oh my God, I'm not enrolling something. What happens if I don't go triple this month? I force myself to stop and just do my self-development, get myself in a good headspace, and then do your 6 list anyways. Because they will come. Okay. He talked about journaling and meditation and why that's so important. And even you guys, if you don't meditate, that's totally fine if that's not your way. But I want you to find something, whether that's going and taking a hike, whether that's reading a book, finding something that literally just you're able to stop thinking. I want you to literally like imagine turning the switch. You're turning your thought process off. You're forcing yourself not to think anymore for 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes a day, you just stop the thought process. And when you do that and you journal and all these things that we're talking about combined, your business will flourish, you guys. I've seen it in all of you, and that's a perfect example. I'm going to kind of pin on her for a sec. She'll be the first person to admit that 4 months ago, she was not working her business like she is now. She was not the leader that she is today. And that is because she chose to make a switch. She chose to reframe her mind and to start doing her 6 list and to learn all the things and to show up. Right? Okay. The other thing that was so crazy to me that he said was, because they were talking about abundance and prosperity, and he said those are 2 very different things, and people confuse these terms often. He said there is no such thing as having more abundance. You are abundance. You are it. You are source energy. You have everything that you need. You have all the tools. You just need to learn how to use them. He said you tap into your abundance through gratitude. Gratitude is the highest vibration that you could possibly be at. And when you force yourself, Rachel Hollis says it best, you cannot be thankful and anxious at the same time. The second those fears pop up, start thinking about all the customers that you're so grateful for, the distributors. Start thinking about other things, clean water, the fact that you have a healthy, able body. Like, switch your mind to not even thinking about that anymore. And we're just going to start talking about all the things that we're grateful for. Because when you live in a state of gratitude, you will create prosperity. Okay. He said prosperity is the byproduct of abundance. Mads, do you have anything to add on to that before we go on to the next thing?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that I wanted to touch on. So one, this business is a day-by-day business. We talk about months and like the month and like each month it starts over, but this business is day by day. No day looks the same. So your business will change every single day. My day today does not look like my day yesterday, but I'm still getting my stuff done now so that I can go do something fun with Layla later. And I got my stuff done yesterday in the morning so I could go to work and do what I needed to do and do it in between everything else. Not every day looks the same, and that is okay. But you have to find the where you can work your business instead of using that as an excuse to not work your business at all. Your day's busy? Great, so was mine, and yeah, I still did what I was supposed to do, so why couldn't you do yours? You know what I mean? So don't use your busy day as an excuse to not work your business, because at the end of the day, if you want less busy days, you're going to have to work your business. The second thing is this anxiety and gratitude. I use this every single day. This last month, my anxiety has been through the freaking skyrocketed roof. And every single time it shows up, I'm talking to Layla about how grateful we are about whatever. I'm thinking to myself about how grateful I am that I have a roof over my head and food in my belly and this bag of laundry behind me. Like, I'm saying things that I'm grateful for to distract my mind from what it's trying to do. And it has worked every single time. There are tips and tricks, but you have to use them. I could have easily not used that and sat in a hole and was so anxious I was sick and did nothing all day. But instead, I switched my mindset. We talked about it. Layla told me what she was grateful for, which was basically the entire planet. And I said what I was grateful for. And then I was done. It was over. And now we went on with our day. Use those tools to change the narrative of your life. You do not have to be anxious. That is a choice that you're making. You want to be anxious, be anxious. Sometimes it's inevitable that you're going to be anxious. It's just going to happen. But you can take those steps forward to try to minimize it as much as you can. And that's one of them. So
what I want you guys to recognize too, because I struggle with major anxiety, and I know that a couple people on this Zoom do too, is you have to realize that your anxiety is not you. It's actually a physical response in your body, okay? And you don't have a choice over that. And that neurological response will be triggered all the time. And what you have to just do is say, hi, anxiety, how are ya? And then move on. So dance parties are great. Like, there's tons of different things that you can do to get yourself out of that headspace. But like I said before, even if you're having the shittiest day of your life, do not work your business. I think I said this on my live this morning. Do not work your business based off of emotion. You have to just do it anyways. Okay, so the other thing that he said was, because we hold as leaders our team accountable, right? I have zero expectations for you guys, frankly. Like, you doing your 6 list and having a good attitude is on you. That does not affect my paycheck. That does not affect me. And without sounding too bitchy, I don't really care, because the people who want this will show up and I will give them my all. And the people who don't show up for themselves, I can't show up for, right? So when you start showing up for yourself as a leader and doing your 6 list every day, your team's going to start doing the same thing. And as leaders, we hold our team accountable, not based off of their enrollments, not based off of what they're doing every day, but holding them accountable to their why. That's my job as a leader. That's your enroller's job as a leader. That's your job for your team, is to remind them of why they're here. And he said, holding someone accountable is showing love. It's not micromanaging. So if you feel like your leader's been on your ass, or you feel like, you know, whatever, someone's holding you accountable to something, that can feel like managerial. But what you have to realize is that that's coming from a place of love, and we're not micromanaging you. It's holding you accountable to why you started this in the first place. And you got to do the same for your team. I thought that was so key when he said that. Another thing that he said is there's no power in a spiral and a breakdown. So when I told you earlier to think about a breakdown, think about something crazy that's going on in your life right now, and then think of it as a blessing. He says, give that breakdown no power. Breakdown is a blessing, and treat it with gratitude instead of distaste. When you can't pay your bills, it can feel really scary. And you have to realize that that's a blessing. This financial breakdown that you're having is a blessing, because your come up is right around the corner. What you are about to have, even if it's not finances, let's say it's your relationship with your spouse, you're having a breakdown. When you can treat that situation with complete and utter gratitude for what you have your hands on, it will change everything. He said, if I'm not generating breakdowns, I'm not playing big enough. If you're not having financial breakdowns, if you're not having relationship breakdowns, if you're not having major breakdowns in your life right now, you're playing too small. Plain and simple. You are going to encounter, and you have to look for the problems, not with distaste, but with a blessing, with a gratitude mindset, right? So I thought that was really key. And then instead of saying, oh no, when something comes up, or acting like, you know, you get this unexpected bill and you're like, oh shit, instead of thinking that, say yes. And I was like, oh my God, I need to start doing that, because a little while ago, you'll remember I told you on a different Zoom, I was listening to Manifestation Babe, and she said every time she finds a penny, every time she finds a quarter, a dollar, whatever, she says, thank God I'm a millionaire. It goes back to the thing we learned at conference. Thank God I'm rich. And when you start correlating those two, more money is going to flow to you. It's the same thing with life, with breakdowns, with your business. If you're not striving for the next rank, like, you're not going to have more problems, which should be a warning sign for you. More money, more problems, baby. Go get your money. Who has your money today? Grant Cardone says that in Sell or Be Sold. Who has your money today? Someone out there has your paycheck. What do you need to do to get there? How many, and that goes back to servitude. How many people can you help today? How many customers can you enroll? How many distributors can you help? Like, this is about other people. Okay. And then he said, stop comparing to anyone but yourself. You should be your biggest competition. And I know for a fact I'm my biggest competition. And the only reason I went double, and the only reason we're going triple, is because I stopped looking at other people. I stopped looking at when other people were promoting. I stopped looking at other people's enrollments. I stopped looking at how many other people got HAPs up and whatever. And I started competing with what I did yesterday. I started competing with myself on how I was last month. That's that 2% change, right? How much can you push yourself? And it goes back to motivation. Motivation is crap, right? But you can motivate yourself by, like, if you think, oh my God, yesterday was such a shitty day and didn't get anything done. Use that to your advantage and be like, hell yeah, that means today I'm going to send out double the messages because I want to be better than I was yesterday. I'm going to listen to an extra hour of self-development while I'm following up today because I want to grow more than I was yesterday. Right? Okay, that's all I have on that. But I just thought that that was really key. You guys should listen to that podcast. Oh my God, it was so good. Drop a 1 in the comments if this was helpful for you. If you got something out of this. I know it's been kind of a red talk, but I think you guys needed to hear this. And I always will keep it 100 with you, and I'll always keep it real and raw. And I just want you to know on what I want to end on, and I'll give you, Mads, the opportunity to close out too. But I want to leave you with one tip, and I want to leave you with so much love and like literally hugging you virtually, because you guys, the second that you overcome these fears, the second that you overcome these objections, like I can't wait to see what happens for you. I can't wait to watch you promote. And that is so exciting for me. Like that's what I live for every day. Outside of my dream board and what I want for my personal family, I pray on your guys' chart every single day. I have a list of what this $15,000 promotion would do for every single one of you. And I read it daily because your promotion matters and you need to want it as bad as I want it for you, or it's never going to happen. The people who do not want, like when you see my hunger, when you see my passion, y'all are going to grow into that person. You're going to get passionate about this. The second that you get loud and excited about what you're doing, your business and your team will explode. You'll explode. So my one tip for you is the same tip that I put on the live push page, but if you're watching this on replay and didn't get a chance or you're not in my group, stop using your why as your excuse and start using everything that's happening in your life as a positive thing to push you forward. And that's all I got.
Love that. Basically to sum it up and close it out on a note, you guys, you just have to do it. You just have to get over it. Get over that, oh, I really don't want to do it today. I'm so tired. I'm blah, blah, blah. I'm all of these things, and do it anyway. Because by you doing it anyway, you're pushing yourself closer and closer to where you're supposed to be. But if you're not doing that and you use that as an excuse, or your why as an excuse, like, hello, my kid's kind of acting ridiculous today. Well, for the last week. If I use that as an excuse to why I can't work my business, that's using my why as why I can't do anything. Well, she's being crazy and she's not leaving me alone. Well, she loves her mom. I don't know what to tell you, but guess what? I can work my business from my phone while I'm hugging her because, well, I only need one hand. So don't use your why as an excuse to why you cannot work your business. Do not use the fact that you had a busy day at work or you had a busy day doing whatever and you couldn't work your business. We all have busy days. We all got stuff going on. We all got things we got to take care of. We all have errands to run or things to do. But while I'm running those errands or while I'm at work, I'm using that 10-minute break or I'm using that hour lunch or I'm using nap time to do what I need to do because it is important to me to finish everything on my list. Period. You all deserve this, and I know you guys can do it, but you just have to do it. Stop wishing for it and start working for it.
Okay, I'm going to add one more thing because you made me think of it, and then I promise we'll be done because we're over time. But it's promotion month, and part of the reason why we're doing this Zoom and what I really want to talk about is if there's a time to sacrifice, it's right now. If there's 24 days that you get no sleep, get over it. You're not going to sleep for 24 days, and neither am I. And that's just reality. I will be up every single night working with you because I will do whatever it takes to make this promotion happen. And when you have the same mindset, you will not care. The fears will not stand in your way and they will not stop you. Everyone has 24 hours in a day, sis. So just suck it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally that simple. I started this business and I touched on this in my live this morning, but I think so many people, especially newbies, see me now as a stay-at-home mom, see me as the double diamond, see me as whatever on this pedestal. You guys, I started exactly where you started. And I was 8.5 months pregnant, sicker than shit when I first started this. My mom had breast cancer. I just found out when I started this. There was so much that was happening. But I had to use that as fuel to my fire. And again, I lost sleep. I was working 60 hours a week still. Regardless, I was literally running to the bathroom. Everyone like at the front desk could hear me vomiting every 30 minutes. And then I would go home and I would work my business. And I didn't go to bed till 2 a.m. every night. And I woke up at 6. And you know what? I promoted to Ruby that month. The next month, I went Emerald and earned a $5,000 bonus. 2 months after that, after we went to conference, I went Diamond and earned a $10,000 bonus. 15 days after that, I went double, and Connor and I earned an additional $25,000 in bonuses. Income disclosure statement here. You can do the exact same thing. This bonus is yours. But this is the time to hit up every family member and be like, dude, I need you to place an order. Okay? Even if it's just $30, I need you to do it. Nothing that breaks the bank, right? Ask your coworkers. Ask the people that you've been afraid to ask and haven't already, because I know when I went double, I had those people. And I was like, all right, I just got to like send the message. You know what I'm saying? And I can't tell you how many people ended up ordering for me. I can't tell you how many people ended up joining my organization that month. So we're going to end on that, but